All right, fellas, we're coming in. Oh, he's here right on time. He's right on time. We're going to add him to the stream. There he comes. I thought you was going to be late.
Oh man, I'm glad I looked at the invitation and saw my NikkiT was looking and asking, and I thought, oh my goodness, I was thinking 6:30 all day, and it was 6 o'clock, so that's all on me.
It's okay. That's all right. Anyway, we have got the Rev here from Rev. Okay, we're going to have to say it.
RevStoration.
Restoration. There we go. So, but anyway, yeah, we've been following for a long time. I'm Steve Phillips with the Run Drip Bubble Company. And then we got Copperhead Customs all the way from way down under, man, from Australia with us.
Woo, good to be here, guys. Thank y'all for allowing me to hang out.
Well, this is a good thing for you there because it's actually tomorrow where he's at. So we know.
That's right, I'm in the future.
Yes, that's right. That's I'm looking forward. Hopefully, what's the lottery numbers for today?
Yeah, I've been trying to get them over to him, but yeah, it's not working yet.
Yeah. Yeah, he lives in the future, so we always say, "Hey, how's the weather today?" and all that kind of stuff. But I guess it's Queensland, Australia.
Yeah, Queensland.
Yeah,
so we're an hour from the Gold Coast. I don't know if you've heard of the Gold Coast, but
most certainly.
Yeah, he's trying hard to move to America, man. He wants to be down there where you're at, where it's hot. He don't want to be up here in North Georgia.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was. I was at a graveside today in South Georgia, just about halfway between Savannah and Augusta, and it was steamy. So it's already getting hot even in February.
My boys are in Eastman, Georgia. You know Eastman, Georgia?
Yes, sir. Been there.
They're in middle college down there they're right now graduated with for the aviation school.
That's right. Yeah, that's awesome.
So they just almost got it done. Evans, my middle boy or my baby boy, he is right now done. And then my middle boy, he's almost done. So hopefully that's my retirement plan. That's what I'm figuring. Maybe they get to fly with Delta or something like that, and I just sit at the house.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, you got all kinds of folks on here saying good evening. There we got Nikki Wheeler here and Kate J. Now you must know these folks.
Yeah, hopefully that's some good folks. That's my bride right there.
There you go. You better brag on her.
Amen.
Yep. So anyway, they're all here with us. Now, how long have you had your how long love the accent? There you go. There, Copperhead's always the favorite one, man. He's the star of the show.
I've been trying to practice me Georgian accent, but it's a bit like when you guys say "g'day, mate." It just doesn't come across right at the moment.
My
y'alls and yeehaws and that aren't quite coming out.
So. We're full of them.
Oh Lord, but I'm kind of like you, man. You got cars in your backyard that's been there for years. You're dragging out. I'm just like you. My daddy drug stuff in when I was a kid. We used to go out and drag in cars, and I bet you there's 100+ cars in my backyard. And that's the thing. I think I got everybody else beat. I don't have to go out and look for something to fix. I've got it. I just got to figure out which one's next.
Sad thing for us is we're still going out looking for more. If we have more property, Ole Man's looking for he's looking for more cars to sit on it.
I'm with you. I guess we're just car hoarders. Like people hoard everything, just car hoarders. My wife gets aggravated at me. Of course, I got enough now that when I bring one in, she don't even notice.
Well, I'm not there yet. My old man may be, but I'll get there before long. Well, yeah, he has. He worked at Snapper Power, which made Snapper lawnmowers in McDonough, Georgia, for many years, and he was just sort of known around the plant. If somebody had an old car and, need a little bit of money, they could offer it to my daddy. And he, if it was a Ford or if it was a V8, it didn't matter what brand. If it had a V8 engine, he was going to pick them up. So it's been around my life for a long time. So I've always enjoyed working on them, playing around with them.
Yeah, it's kind of a stress reliever for me too. And that's the thing. When I started the YouTube channel, I ain't like I done it for anything special. I just started filming what we normally do.
That's right.
Day. Yeah.
Yeah. For us, it's you're right. I'm in ministry, and being a pastor, I'm always working with individuals, which I love. That's my calling. I have no reason to say anything negative about that. But cars don't talk back. Cars don't have feelings. Right. They just let you beat on them and go. And so, like you say, it is a good stress reliever.
So now, how long have you been?
And then you joined YouTube, and then everyone comments and just, what's the word?
Yeah, there's stress everywhere.
Everything you do.
Yeah, we dropped a video yesterday that was probably a week late, and I was just thrashing it to get through the editing, and something happened to one clip at the very end where it zoomed in like 1,000. I mean, I'm seeing like this much of my mama's face. And it just so happens that every single person that sees it, not everyone, but most of them, like, hey, you need to fire the editor. You need to fire the camera guy. Yep. I'm both of them. That's me. But hey, that's just part of YouTube life. When we put it out there, we should expect people are going to make comments.
I love the comments, man. I've had some doozies, man. I had one guy comment. He said, "You have no idea what you're doing," and I commented back. I said, "You know what? All the comments, you're the only one that caught that."
Yeah. I want to ask them, well, why are you watching? You know, what's that saying about you?
Yeah, I don't care. It's all good, man. Everybody's got their own opinions for stuff. And, of course, we don't know what we're doing, but we're learning. I've been at it for a long time.
Yep, that's exactly where we're at. I say often this may not be the right way or the way you do it, but this is the way I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And most of the time it gets done. It may not be right, but it gets done.
Redneck ingenuity.
That's exactly right. Whatever it takes to make it run.
Yeah.
That video, on the one that you put out yesterday, that was one of the best things I've seen in ages. And it's when you put that little Coke bottle,
yeah,
bolt and painted them. And I was just like, I've never even like that hadn't popped in here ever. And I'm like, that's such a good idea. I'll get the paintbrush and I'm stuffing around with the paintbrush and that. I'm like, how good's that? Like,
well, it was just one of those things that I use Coke bottles, Mountain Dew bottles, whatever it takes for a little bit of anything. I put gas in it, pour it in the carburetor, and they're always around. So I thought, man, that's perfect size to put over it and spray. But it's I don't know where I came up with it, but it worked.
I'm with you on that. That's funny you talking about Coke bottles. My daddy, and my daddy's still alive. He's 86 years old. He's still alive, and he's a mess. He ain't no doubt. But we used to work out of town, putting in telephone cable back years ago. He chewed tobacco, and back in the day, we had glass bottles. You had glass bottles.
Yeah.
And we had to go to Columbia, South Carolina. We was working at a job in Columbia, and we drove up there that morning, and he used that dang spit cup or that Mountain Dew jug for a spit cup. And we got out to work. He just put the lid on it and laid it in the seat. And I bet inside that car got over 200 degrees or something. But anyway, that thing exploded inside my car. I told him, I said, no more, man.
I'll tell you what, that's one thing I would not want to happen. I've heard people taking a swig of a spit cup thinking it was something that it wasn't. So I'd much rather having it spew in my car than go down my mouth.
Oh, Lord, that was a mess, man. We worked all day long, and it's hot in Columbia, South Carolina. Mm-hmm. Open that door on that car, and all it was just bagger spit everywhere. I thought, Lord of mercy, that is so funny. But
we lost a baby bottle one time, and found it when it finally said up under the back seat of the car. And, oh my Lord, it was not good.
Whew.
Yeah, that's funny about you. But over here, you get iced coffees. They're in like the milk cartons, and we went motorbike riding once, me and the apprentice, and I was into him because I'm like, you drunk me iced coffee. Like I was giving him a hard time about it because it had disappeared. And what it is that it got put in the glove box, and it was about like 2 weeks later that thing all through the glove box. And
I believe we could have a car lot sign in our front yard. I know that feeling.
Yep. We don't want to notice that comment. We don't want to talk anything about that. Yep, she's on here, so praise the Lord. I've got a good wife. I can't say anything. She actually told me today. I told her, I said, well, I just need to find something different, I guess, to work on. Pudding's getting done. I've got the Pinto I need to work on. I've got a few that's just sort of set back there. And she said, well, why don't you sell those others that you're not working on and find something that you like? And all I heard was, find something that you like, not the selling others. So I'm going with that.
This is odd. My wife made me buy a truck, and she said, no, I didn't. I drive junk. I mean, the latest model stuff I've got was like an 87 or 88.
Yeah, that's right.
I've got a 93. Let's see, 96, I guess it is, SS Impala, but I don't never drive it because I don't put no miles on it or nothing. And I got the Emerald Coast Cruise in. I don't know if you know anything about that down at Panama City Beach, but they've hired me to come down there and MC that this time. And I got to drive a trailer down with all my equipment. And so I was going to I got a car called the Bandwagon. It's an 87 Crown Victoria station wagon.
Yeah.
She says, I am not riding all the way down there in that. You're going to go buy you a truck. You're going to go buy your truck. So, I'm good with what I drive until somebody gets in there with me. So anyway, I had to go. I ended up getting a Toyota Tundra or something. It's a full-size Toyota. Nice truck, but not what I'd have bought with my choice,
Well, I had a little, I called it my preacher mobile. It was a little gas saver, a little Ford Fiesta, and man, it was fun. It had a little 5-speed, and I boogied around in it, and it was a fun little car. I had a lady pull out in front of me, and I just totaled them. All you got to do is bend a bumper on a new car now, and they total them.
Oh, yeah.
So I've just been driving. I'm going to fix the Pinto and get it on the road, a little 4-speed, and that'll be my preacher mobile. That 2.0 will save a little gas. Just as long as I don't get rear-ended, I don't have much shot that's going to happen.
I know that this guy, you see it all over the internet where he had the Pinto and he flamed it, but he put the flames
from the back.
Yeah. Not everybody got that, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Everybody always talks about them blowing up, but I worked on the fuel tank on that one on the channel numerous times, more than I wanted to work on it. And I think their Ford's resolution was to put about a 1/4-inch piece of plastic between the rear end of the car and the gas tank, so that it wasn't metal to metal hitting. Now, I don't know if that worked, but it was good enough for me. I was like, well, we'll just hope I don't get rear-ended.
Now, how many Pintos do you have? You fixed 2 or 3 of them, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got 2 still. I've got one. It's a Country Squire. It's a 73, and then I have the Pinto Runabout, which is the 2-door. It's a 4-speed, and it's a 72. That'll probably be the one I finish off.
They're good looking little cars, but I can remember growing up, man. Every time I got in a hurry somewhere or had to go somewhere, I'd get behind a Pinto or a Volkswagen.
Yeah,
and it was just 2-lane roads.
Well, I tell you what, I have really been surprised. This first Pinto I've owned, but it's got the little 2.0, and they actually have more pep with the 4-speed.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys I hear that take those engines and actually race them and get a lot of power out of the little 2.0s. So I was pretty pleased. I'm excited to get it back on the road. It's got new tires, new gas tank, new radiator. Well, it's not a new radiator, but it's going to have a new radiator, new timing chain. So, hey, put a radio in it, it's good to go.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And I'm going to tell you, talking about racing, now them 2300 Pinto motors, them things went forever. And I never was a Pinto fan. The 4-cylinders, I never had any faith in it. But then they started the pony class, where they started racing pony cars. And you talking about getting rid of some Pintos, that's where all the Pintos went.
Yeah, they're gone.
They raced them. And they tore them up. But there's one kid down there had one, and he turned that thing around that track at 9,000 RPMs, and it never come apart. And that made a believer out of me right there. I said, man. Yeah.
If it can hold on that long and running that hot, it'll be good.
Yeah, but I mean, and everybody talks about that Iron Duke Chevrolet. I don't think that thing's near what the 2300 is.
Yeah, well, this is a little 2.0, but it's it'll do all I want it to do. To boogie it around town and then have a little pep, just downshift and go. So I'll have fun with it.
Yeah, they're pretty popular now. It's funny, you see a lot of folks fixing the little feathers
I've never seen them before. They're cool looking.
Yeah, they are. They have a little bit of for a lot of years they just got a bad name and people just always talked about Pintos. But the Ford Mavericks, the Ford Pintos, there were many years those were throwaway cars, and now, now everybody's looking for them and putting big V8s in them. And I don't mind going fast, but I don't mind going with what they came with. I'm gonna go with what if it's 2.0 and a 4-speed, that's what I'm gonna leave in it.
Well, that's the thing, man. We talked to a lot of people, and they build the cars and build them and faster and faster and faster, but the speed limit's 55.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't know, they want us to go drag racing and all. I ain't much into drag racing. I always kind of into dirt track, but I like to just cruise, man. I got a big Lincoln Town car, and I got some other stuff like that, big Cadillac. I like this ride, man.
Yeah, that's me too. That's like I put this that last video I was working on an Autolite 4100, and I have rebuilt probably upwards, maybe between 150 and 200 of those, and I've never got one sent back. That's really where I got started when I was early in ministry. I've always rebuilt Autolite 1100, 1100, 2100s, 2150 Motorcrafts, and 4100 Autolites. And I mean, I had a business. It was just I rebuilt for the NikkiT. What was the fellow's name? Clarkston. What's the Jeremy Clarkston, the guy who I rebuilt, didn't even know I was rebuilding it for him, and he ordered it off eBay and wrote me a letter and all this kind of stuff. So I've never had a carburetor to do that. I don't know if it was cracked, but I would tune out the engine and it would run fairly well, and then I would drive a little bit further and the engine would get hot and it would just rev. I mean, like a rev limiter was going off on it. I've never had a carburetor to do that, but the Edelbrock, it fixed it.
Yeah.
I found that funny. You were like, no, I'm not doing an Edelbrock. Everyone says do an Edelbrock. I'm building this. And then later on you went, I went and got an Edelbrock.
Yeah, it was on the shelf. So it was, I was thrashing to the point that I had to get something. And I was like, all right, I'm giving in $400
it was good
later.
To see like that.
I like the Edelbrock. Of course, I'm a Mopar guy. You know, I kind of come up on Mopar, and that's basically just no Mopar.
Yeah,
carburetor.
Well, it was simple too. I mean, just straight out the box, and it should be. If I'm paying $400 for it, I should be able to bolt it up and go, and that's pretty much what I did.
Yeah. We got Russ Murphy wants to know if you're going to build a stroker motor for one of those trucks.
Well, we have. He probably now has 1, 2, 3, 4. Anywhere from 67 to 73. He's probably got 4 or 5. And 3 have 360s, and 1 has, I think, a 352 in it. So he's got a bunch. And we just have so many ideas of what we want to do. And we got people on here that watch YouTube, and the two of you guys make content. Maybe y'all can explain this to me. We have figured out on our channel now, a couple of years running, that if we start something that's just been sitting in the woods, rotting away, it can be covered in dirt, such as the Courier that we restarted, or my dad's old Jeep that just been sitting out with a 289. We thought it was no way it would start. People love those videos, some of the most watched videos out there. But then when I do, like we're working on pudding, and I'm putting fast stuff on it, putting 4 barrels on it, spending a little bit of money, and people don't seem to care to watch that as much. So it's almost like we just need to go find cars that don't start and just video that.
That's it. I've been building that Dodge Dart that belonged to my grandmother. She bought the thing brand new, and this went crazy.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good to hear.
We plug it out. It went crazy, but then, I've got other stuff we put up. It's just, there's no rhyme or reason to it. I don't, you never know. But I watched a video the other day where a guy actually cranked a burnt, I think it was a Maverick or a Mustang or something, was burnt to a crisp. And they
I saw that.
I thought, I want to see this.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it was it Dylan McCool? Who was it?
I don't know if it was Dylan. I felt sorry for poor old Dylan McCool the other day when he painted that car with them spray cans.
Yeah.
I hope he got a lot of views on that because he earned them.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't know if it's sponsorship or what, but I've seen a lot of folks use it was the mega cans, right?
Yeah, the mega cans.
Yeah. I'd much rather mix mine up and put it in a sprayer and have infinite air and just go with it.
Yeah, golly, that's a lot of work to paint, but he he seemed like a good boy. I don't know him.
Oh yeah, I've communicated with him some, just in messages back and forth. He's a believer. He's my kind of folks for sure.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been a preacher?
Well, let's see. The funeral that I did today was from a lady that was a member of the first church I pastored. It was 2005. I was 24 years old, so however long ago that's been. We're kicking on 18, 19 years that I've served as a pastor. Now, in other positions before that, but being in full-time ministry since 2005.
Well, that's good. I'm gonna tell you now, up here I go to a little church that I've been my whole life ever since I was a kid, Friendship Baptist Church, and back then, when you got out of hand, your dad would drag you out and wear you out and then take you back in and set you down. That way it used to be.
Yeah.
And I still kind of break out in a sweat when I get to them steps going into church. But our preacher that we had, he had some health issues, and then we tried to get another one, which we got one now, Stan Woods. But man, it's hard to find because there's just seems like there's not many people called to preach. I mean, nowadays it's like it used to be.
Well, I'll venture and say, and I know we're getting over into maybe a different topic, but I'd venture to say some of the fellas that are taking positions still ain't called to preach. I mean, I heard some fellas that just don't preach it as I see it in the Word. But that's the first church I pastor was the same name, different place, of course, Friendship Baptist. But I have, but it's hard. I mean, guys. Ministry is hard. I mean, that's probably why people don't want to do it. You're not gonna get rich, and you're probably you're gonna have some close friends, but you may even lose some other ones. So but nothing else I'd want to do. I wouldn't want to step down to be the president.
No, well that'd be way down.
Yeah, it'd be way down. That's right.
We're gonna get into that, but anyway, we're gonna get into that, but. I don't know. I'm like you. That's kind of a funny thing. I said, I think George Washington has called more people to preach than the good Lord has.
Well, in some days, that's right.
Yeah, but I guess we got Alan Carson stuff with us. He's always hanging out. He's got some cool stuff on his channel. So, but anyway, but no, I think that's great, man. I actually think that's great. I've got Stan Woods just started preaching with us, and he's got Camp Hosanna. I don't know if you ever heard of Camp Hosanna up here.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, they bring the kids. It's a youth camp that they bring the kids up during the summertime.
Okay. Yes.
And it's huge. It's really getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a good thing. So yeah, all excited about that. But I don't know, them little Pintos. But now your cars that you've got, I see some of the cars back there in the back. Y'all got some cool stuff. I mean, he's bought some cool stuff that y'all got hid out back there.
Yeah, he has. He's picked up, like I say, just about anything. He had the Plymouth Fury, and we were looking for a 383, and he found out how much Mopar parts were, and he decided he was going to unload it. Fella wanted it, and he unloaded it for 2 Chevrolet square body trucks, a Volkswagen, and then that Comet we've been working on.
Right.
And so that Plymouth Fury, all it had was a block from a 383, and we got 3 of the 4 cars up and running already. So I think he may come out all right.
Yeah, he did good.
Yeah. It's been fun, but we have a lot of plans. The Ole Man's actually just breaking this out on the channel. He's wanting to build a bigger shop now, something inside. So and he's just going. He's never. He doesn't have much to do other than the million things he has to do. He just wants to keep on building something. So I hope when I'm his age, I'm exactly the same way.
Well, that's what keeps you young, man. I really believe that. Yep, I really believe that. I think if you sit down, that's it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the end.
Yeah, Russ said it. It was a budget builder. That's exactly right. That had that. I actually did a collaboration with him a year or so ago. So he's a good guy without a doubt. So he was the one that had to burn out Maverick.
Oh yeah, I watched that. That was Comet. Yeah, I guess that's what it was. But I didn't know. I thought, of course, I've got a car that we got a truck that caught on fire. I pulled the motor out of it, 340. I said, I'm not getting rid of that. I'm gonna go through it. I mean, surely I wouldn't think it'd be hurt that bad. Would you?
No, I mean, I wouldn't. Really, all it is wires is really the only thing you worried about getting hot. I mean, it's going to really booger something up.
Right.
Seals, seals and different things like that. Maybe in the heads you might have some issues, but outside of that, I think it'd be good to go.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through the motor. I mean, I'm bad. Of course, if y'all needed a 383, I probably got one. I got the wood full of them Mopars. I'm not kidding. My daddy drug them in ever since I was a kid. And a lot of them has burnt. I mean, he's got 2 57 Plymouth Furies is worth unreal money, but it's just so. One of them's got factory 2 4-barrels on it, come from the factory 2 4s, and it's just set there. We're going to drag it out. We're going to slowly drag them out and see if we can get them cranked, get them running, just go as far as you can. But like I say, that's what people like to see.
That's exactly right. Well, hey, I would enjoy that. That's he finally got rid of it, and the fella said he was going to build the block that we had and run through it, and it was just we could have done it, but Daddy just said he would rather have the square bodies and the old Comet and the Volkswagen. It's still got a locked up engine. I've worked on a bunch of Volkswagens, and I think that's probably the second Volkswagen that I've seen in my life, and I ain't too old, but the second one I've seen with a locked up engine. And I've beat on it. I've done everything I can think of, and I can't break that engine loose for nothing. But we're going to eventually get it cranked.
Yeah, everybody always. I'm a firm believer in PB Blaster. It used to be transmission fluid, but
yeah.
We're about to get a bigger yard. It seemed like your wife was saying, but then we got Russ right here. He says, "Bless your heart."
Yeah, that's
now,
right.
Bless your heart. He needs to clarify that. In the South, that could go two ways.
Oh, you got a lot of ways it can go. That's right.
It better be the good. It better be the good. Oh, Lord mercy. But no, I've enjoyed it. But I don't, like I say, you never know on YouTube what to expect and what not to expect. I seen that Vice Grip Garage. He hit 1.5 million subscribers.
I tell you what, though, that cat deserves it. I mean, he's got an awesome family, and I believe if we've watched Derek, if you watched him, I mean, you almost feel like you know him. I've never seen him. I've been on live chats and different things, but Derek just seems to be a good guy.
Yeah, he does. And he's down here in Tennessee now where he can afford it. So
yeah, he's down in getting closer to God's country.
He's a very good mechanic too. Yeah, so like there's not like the stuff he'll do on the side of the road. There's not a lot of people that would have the patience or whatever or the skills to do what he does. I think
Yeah, that's right. I agree with you 100%. And one of the things I appreciate about Derek too is he realizes he doesn't know everything. So he has a group that comes in, and I think all the electronics and things like that is not his forte. He's kind of like our 60s and 70s. He could just blow through Ford, Chevrolet, Mopar, didn't matter. But now that they're getting into the LS and all the digitals and things like that, he's learning that. So I just think that's cool to see that he's not afraid to venture out. And that's really, as a shade tree mechanic, you're going to have to learn to do it all. And that's sort of where I am. I'm not great at anything, but I'm pretty much good at all of it.
Yeah. No, yeah, we've all been broke down on the side of the road trying to get home too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was broke down in that bandwagon. It's all, anyway, we call it the bandwagon. I used to play music, and that's what we haul our stuff in. It's all dolled up. I was broke down on the side of the road by myself and trying to get this thing going. I had a guy pull up, and I thought, oh, here's help. And he said, "Excuse me, do you care if I take a picture of your car?" I said, "No, I don't care." And he took a picture of the car and just left me. I'm sitting there with the hood up.
Wow. Yep. We get that all the time. People saying, "Hey, can we take a picture of this? Take a picture of that?" If it's got smoke coming under the hood or smoke pouring out the tailpipes, no, you head on to the house.
Yeah. That is so funny, but that's the way it is nowadays. But no, I don't know, man. We keep hammering on that. But that Vice Grip Garage, I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. Seems like a good guy. And that Dylan McCool, like I said, you talked to him. He's got a good channel. He seemed like a good boy. I think now he's in Tennessee too. Ain't Dylan in Tennessee?
Yeah, Dylan's in Tennessee as well. There's a lot of guys that are kind of, it's either Texas or Tennessee. Seems like some of the big guys, but. Down here in the South, Florida and Georgia, I mean, you just have pretty much 365 outside of rain, unless you got a shop. But you pretty much can work on them all year long. You don't have to worry about snow, and I think that's the main reason Derek went to Tennessee.
I don't blame him.
Yeah,
it's just too cold. I don't like that cold weather. I keep up some of them boys up north, and there's one guy, I can't remember his name, but he is doing metal work is amazing. Some of the stuff that he does, but. Man, it's got to be like 30 below zero. I'm like, I ain't living in that. I ain't no way.
Yeah, we do it. We follow the Lord to Alaska.
I think he's in Canada, maybe.
I've spoken to him, Half-Ass Customs, Brent, in Canada, and they have like snow above your head, So he's got to get some measurements on a 40 Chev for me. But he goes, "Oh yeah, we'll have to wait a few months till the snow disappears because I can't get to it. I'm not digging it out."
Yeah, that's right. I've never had to worry with that.
No,
we're in Australia. It doesn't even snow here. I wouldn't even know what to do with it.
Yep. We went to Alaska for a year and a half in ministry, and we had our share of snow in that year and a half. It got negative 37 for 3 or 4 nights in a row, and for this Georgia boy, that was enough. I didn't need to see that anymore.
That's like that flat broke garage. He was talking about a guy that he lived up towards Chicago, and this guy's wanting to go ice fishing, and he's from down here. He's a fisherman and a hunter, and he got up there, and it was like 40 below zero, and he made it out to the carport, and he said, I don't think I want to go ice fishing.
Yeah. You already catch them frozen. I mean, that's normally when you go to the store and buy them frozen. I wouldn't want to go have to cut through ice to catch a fish.
Now you're a big Ford. Do what next?
68 degrees here is, I'll call that cold. 68 Fahrenheit. We'd be saying that's cold.
Okay, we got to figure that out on the American scale. How
that's the American scale. That's 20 degrees
68.
here.
Okay.
68 where you are. And I'll be going, it's a bit cold today.
That's perfectly. That's about where in South Georgia where I was at today. It felt like it was 150. I was wearing a monkey suit and it was black and the sun was beaming down on me, so it was hot enough to make me sweat just standing there. But it was comfortable here today, thank goodness.
It's been nice up here, but man, we've had the rain. Golly, man, the ground is rotten, as we say. That's a term Copperhead we use when it's so mushy outside. The ground's rotten, but you can't even. I mean, it's terrible. The road that goes up to my shop behind my house is it's a mess.
We need to commence to start building boats if it's going to keep on raining like this.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I was going to say something else and it slipped. My brain's bad to stop. My mouth keeps running. I'm trying to. But my daddy said my brain gets out of gear, but my mouth stays in gear. I think is what it is.
Yeah.
So we got all kinds. This Russ, what we got here? Really good guy. He's a believer too. Okay, good deal.
Yep, most certainly.
Now Copperhead's wanting to move it. Where is it down there in South Georgia you was looking at trying to get to, Copperhead? The name of the little town.
There was a place we liked in Adrian.
Adrian, yeah. Yeah, we've been through there. That's right. I think Adrian, what is the interstate there? There's an interstate that's fairly close. I remember one time we got off the interstate in Adrian and we were going, is that 20? Interstate 20? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, that's a nice area.
We don't know the area. We just seen there was a house there that was a good price, and it was a bit of a flash house, and had I was in love. The workshop was ridiculous. Like it was 100 meters square, like 100 meter by 100 meter. So that's like 300.
Wow, that's huge.
By 300 foot workshop, and I was just drooling, going, "Oh, there's the place." And then it was like we could afford it, and I was. Like, for what we've got here, we could sell it and buy that. And then I was like, yeah, that's the place. But yeah, I think we want to. I don't know. We've been talking seriously. I think we're going to buy something cheaper, and like do it up and flip it, and sort of do that a few times, and keep a bit of a cushion in the bank.
Yeah, I think there's some wisdom in that because you can get over here and kind of really find where you like, and you'll be able to level up until you get where you want to be.
Not invest everything at the start, and keep a bit of a mattress behind us, Yeah. So, because there's no safety net if we come over there,
I told him he could stay with us, but he'd have to sleep in the middle because we just got one running.
Yeah, I'd be staying in Australia until I found me a place.
Street Outlaws are in Australia this week. Where are they at? I didn't know it. Who is it? There's some other guy coming down to Australia. Bad Chad, I think he's coming.
Yeah, he's coming to our town. That's this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to go. I don't know. So they got the drags this weekend, the street drags, like for old hot rods and stuff.
Yeah, the Street Outlaws.
At our town, we got an airstrip. It's only a little town with like wouldn't even be 1,000 people live here, and there's a little resort, and there's an airstrip there. So they do. Once a year, they do like the hot rods will come and have like 1/8 like drags, like no lights or nothing. Just so he's apparently coming to that, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not really I don't know. I'm not someone that's going to walk up and be like a little fanboy sort of thing, and like that's just not me. Like that sort of goes against my grain to do that. So yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to go down there. I was going to go put some cars on display, like some of my rods and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit weird. I'm a bit of a recluse. I don't like people a real lot. So, this is me. I don't even have friends. This is my friend thing, like coming on here with Steve and that.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. I'll tell you what, it's meeting people. I'm that's what people always say. How can you say you're introverted if you're a pastor? Well, hey, when I get up and preach, you don't have a lot of interaction. Of course, I love people. The Lord's got me out of that shell. Yeah, but that meet and greet type deal where people just walk up and start talking to you, that puts me in an uncomfortable place rather quickly. It's not my forte either, but there's a lot of people that can dig it. probably not one of them.
I've done a radio show on Lake 97.7 and called The Morning Dish going on 11 years, and I have got to meet everybody. I'm in the middle of all of it. I love it, man.
Hey, that's your forte. That's awesome.
I like people. I've got to meet a lot of folks. I've had a lot of pretty famous people on, or used to be famous. That's what I always say. Used to be famous. I had the guy that cleaned John Snyder's house. He was the I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I really, oh, wow. I've talked to John Snyder several times. I've had several people, and I don't know if you know Gary. You know Gary Chapman? He was like he was married to Amy Grant.
Yeah, man. I've sang. I got his Christmas album, so I know all about him.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
He set me up for failure with that. He got me on the radio show, right? But the day before, he had John Snyder, so he had Bo Duke talking Dukes of Hazzard with his blonde locks and all this, and and then the next day he says, "Oh, come on the show." So then there's me trying to follow up this bloke. Got no idea what I'm doing, and there's this bald-headed, ugly Australian, after the all-American, boy.
Well, I know the accent just won people over. I know
that's all it took. Honestly, he's a star up here, man. I'm not kidding you on the radio. They love to hear from Copperhead. So anyway, yeah. John Snyder's great. John is good. He really is. His wife, and if y'all are praying folks out there, y'all need to keep his wife in prayers. She's kind of struggling with some serious health issues, and her name's Alicia, but he's been asking prayers for her, and I think that's very important.
Yeah, they filmed. They did some of the filming of the Dukes of Hazzard right here in the town Covington, right outside of Porterdale, where we're at. So that's got some of our neck of the woods around here too.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Now I'm gonna tell you somebody. It's fun. That Sonny Sawyer, you know him, Enos.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, he is a trip, man. Enos is a trip. Yeah. He gets on the radio. You just turn him on, let him go.
Yep, that's right.
He's wide open. He's a mess, but it's been a lot of fun. And I don't know. I guess that's why I like the YouTube stuff that we're doing now, because I can kind of bleed off on the stuff that I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. It was something you had. What about the Thunder Chicken? You still got the Thunder Chicken?
No. Well, we let's see. We took the 302 that was out of the Thunderbird that Ole Man had, and we put it in the Bronco. So we still have the body, but doesn't have an engine. Still has transmission, but that's it. We have the Mercury Montclair. With a good 390 in it, and I was going to work on it and kind of finish it off. It had the back glass that rolled down. I think they called them breezeways.
Oh yeah.
And I just thought that was a good looking car. It would have been a cruiser too, something that's still big and heavy as it was. It would have been super fast. And went to redo the brakes on it, and the whole back frame right as it comes around was just rotted completely out. I was surprised the back end hadn't fallen off. So I'm looking for something now, preferably 64 to 68 Ford to put that 390 in, because it's a good running engine. So that's really what we're looking for. When NikkiT told me today I can find something I like, that's what I'm going to be perusing to see if I can find.
It actually wrote on there that you've got to sell first.
Yeah.
I don't listen to that selling part. Just find something you like.
I get to a point when I think, okay, I'm going to sell this thing. I don't ever drive it. I think I'm going to sell it. And then I'll get down the road and I'll drive it to go wash it or something like that. And then I'm like, I can't sell this.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I can't sell it. I just can't do it. Yep. Yeah. Building a 6-door Bronco. Why? Why is he building a 6-door Bronco?
That rascal's got a big family.
Yeah, he'd have to be. Yep. Canada. Whew. First step.
So whose idea was it to start the channel? You or your father's?
Yeah, it was mine, and I'll tell you what we did. I think the first channel that we saw was Junkyard Digs, and and I really have not watched a lot of YouTube, had not watched that type content, and I found it and I thought, well, man, this is interesting. We actually had, if you look right there, Reverend Resale, just to make a little money on the side. I was rebuilding the carburetors and selling it on eBay, and then I found out I could buy a lot of other stuff and resell it on eBay. And there's a few honey holes here in town. I was buying things for couple of dollars a piece. I found some Minident toothpaste I bought for $2, and I found, I think, 160 of them, and I was selling them for over $80 a piece.
That's pretty good markup.
Oh my, it was amazing. I mean, we just made all kind of money. So I did that a little bit, shared some of that on YouTube. And so I had a little channel that I started with it and had generated a following. And then I thought, well, I really enjoy the automobile stuff. That's what me and my old man always did. So I said, well, I'm just going to do a video or two and see if it takes off. We filmed 2 videos and put those up on the new channel. And within a week, they already had more views on those 2 videos than the 100 or so I had on the other content. So that was it. It was hook, line, and sinker. And the old man came around. He wanted, of course, he enjoys making the content now. He's sort of come out of his shell and not trying to be prim and proper. He's just being himself. So he really enjoys it. He tells me, hey, you go do all the hard work. You do the video, and I'm getting free labor out of you and getting my cars running. So he's good and enjoys it.
Now, you're a Ford guy. You raised on Fords. You're going to have to tell me something, because I'm not. I was raised on Mopar. I used to be diehard. My daddy said, ain't nothing in the world no better than a Chrysler product.
Yeah, that's right.
And the older I got, I figured out the reason, because that was the cheapest thing on the road. Then I got in the car business, and I got to fool with all of them, and I figured out right quick they're all junk. I don't care who makes them, they're junk.
Every one of them's got problems.
They all got problems. But anyway, so I've got Fords, I've got Chevrolets, Pontiacs, you name it. I've got everything you think of. But I've got a 71 Galaxy 500 with a 400 in it.
Yeah.
And it's a low mileage 400. Now, everybody around here says, you need to pull that 400 out. It's a boat acre. It's junk. But I mean, it runs good. What's your take on that?
Yeah, well, my simple take is, if it's in the car and running good, I'd leave it in there and let it run good. Right. But they do. They don't, for whatever reason, they didn't flow out well. They just didn't, I don't know. And 400s didn't really hang around all that long. Of course, it transitioned very quickly out of it. But I've heard that my whole life too. Of course, not many people like the 400s. And I've heard they were boat anchors, but I'm the type guy, if it's running, leave it alone.
Yeah. But don't fix it. I don't know. Like I said, I looked on the specs on the 71, which is they first come out with. It's got 400 foot-pounds of torque. And
yeah, that's right.
I like torque. I could care less about horsepower. I like torque, you know.
Oh, yeah. It'll pull a tree down.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think I've got a 429 that I can put in it, but I don't know if I want to do all that work or not. But
yeah. Well, we actually came by preaching the funeral, and I was on the way back home. And the city, I don't want to say the name of the city, but I remember in that city they had a fenced-in yard that had about 40 Mustangs in it. So me and NikkiT got there a little early today, and I was trying to remember the road it was on and couldn't find it. But I let her drive because I wanted to be sighting. I wanted to be looking in yards.
I'm looking for cars. I'm looking.
So I'm looking for cars, and I found a 71 Galaxy, flip-up headlights. And NikkiT don't know, but I'm going to try to see if I can ride my way back down there and see if I can talk to that fella and see if it's for sale.
Oh, I tell you, I run myself crazy going down the road looking for cars. And right now, when fall comes, that's what I want to do. I want to go ride, because you can see in people's backyards.
The leaves have coming down, so we can see way back there.
See, that was a little, I'm breaking something to you where I can't get beat up.
Yeah, I forgot she's watching. I need to watch what I'm saying.
Well, I reckon Ryan said he's going to go eat supper. Now, Copperhead down here in the South, supper is what other people call dinner. You with me?
Yeah.
And dinner is at lunchtime, which other people call lunch.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we used to call, I think Granny used to call lunch dinner.
Mm-hmm.
But dinner's tea. So here, what do we say? Tea. We say tea. Yeah, lunch and tea, we say.
Okay.
Now, but back in the old days, they used to say, what they used to say? They used to say dinner for lunch. And supper was in the evening. That's what they used to say.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then we got sophisticated down south now.
Yeah, Kay,
that's what you say now.
He wants to know if you're going to have your brother back on.
Yeah, anytime my brother wants to come around, he looks a lot like me. I'm the much better looking brother. But anytime country is my brother's nickname, and he's a card. Now, if you want to talk about redneck, he most certainly is that, but he's a good old boy. So anytime he's around, he most certainly can be on the channel. Oh Lord, y'all done got her comment back up there. That's a slick idea. She was wondering the whole time why I was letting her drive, and she didn't know I was writing down addresses.
My wife just expects it, man. She just expects it. And they got this thing my boys got to show me how to do, but you can drop pins or pins or something on your phone, and you can drive right back to it.
Yeah, hey, that's a smart idea. I know how to ping. I didn't do that today. I was just making myself mental notes. I've got my own little code. Even if NikkiT reads it, you don't know what it says. So
I'm with you on that, but it's funny. Of course, where I'm at. What I do for a living is I own a garbage service. I'm the trashiest guy in town.
Oh my, that would be the perfect job to go find you some cars.
I get them all the time, man. I am not kidding you. I get them all the time. I bought a '76. What is it? The Lincoln Mark 5, I guess it is, or Mark 6.
Yeah,
Bass edition. $800. His wife, the husband passed away, and she had to move out of town, and it's in real good shape. And that's actually, I drove it for a long time, and I'm fixing to take it over and put it in the body shop and paint it. I need to paint it.
That's the one that's got a joint in between the front and back doors, right?
That's it,
so long from the front and the back, it just has to make that turn.
That hood on that thing is forevermore. I just love it. You just sit there, and you actually have to put binoculars to see the hood on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I love a big car too, so that would be I would have happily paid $800 for it.
Yeah, I love it. And that's about how much it takes to fill it up when you drive back and forth to town. About $100.
Yep, that's right.
460, that thing runs like a top, man.
Oh my, hey, that was a good buy. I very rarely, and they're few and far between, unless you're in your line of work and you're already doing that. I'm sure you come along a lot of deals.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I've been doing, I guess, 21 years I've been in the guard. Like I said, I'm the trashiest guy in town. So,
well, I appreciate your signs. It looks like you'd be a lot like me. I keep a lot of stuff. It's hard for me to throw stuff away.
I'm a hoarder on that part too. Yep, I'm a hoarder on that. I got that 96 Rock tag. I don't know if you ever listened to 96 Rock growing up.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that actually I'm just on the wrong side here.
Yep, that's right.
Christopher Rude. Do you remember Christopher Rude?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He works for our radio station now that was on 96 Rock.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And this is actually the 96 Rock tag I had on my Roadrunner back growing up. And I kept it. And so then when he come in, I went and took it off the Roadrunner over and had him sign it. So I got
yeah. He was a good guy. He was a big deal in Atlanta during those years.
Yeah, golly, yeah, 96 Rock. Who would have thought that it'd ever go off the radio, but it did. I mean, never quit. But it just, I guess everything changes or whatever. But that was the 96 Rock, and then Fox. Randy Reeves. I don't know if you remember Randy Reeves. He does a lot of stuff with us and all that. All them old guys, man, they
can't leave. They're gonna find a microphone somewhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. I get a lot of these guys on the radio that's trying to make it big, and then they get this ego about them, and I'll tell them, hey, I'll see you on your way back down, because I'm guarantee it. They'll be calling in a couple of years. Hey, man, can I get back on the radio?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's all fun. But anyway, now, man, I don't want to hold you up too much. We normally talk about an hour, but I do enjoy your Now, let me ask you another question now before we go. And you have got another YouTube channel that you do with your pastor.
Yeah, that's right. That was the channel, actually the first channel that I had the reselling content on, and I'm not doing that content anymore. So I call it RevStories, Rev Stories. Right. And we just shared this gospel stories. And I need to put more time into that channel, but it had gotten to the point where I'm full-time in ministry, and I usually have about a day a week that I can go and film content and make a video. Right. And that's another thing that's difficult on the channel, because there's only so much you can do in one day's time, usually a day or 2 half days that we're able to work on cars. So we make content every week on that schedule. So it makes it difficult to do the other content, but we need to put out. We have generated individuals that have started attending our church and have come around just by, meeting me on YouTube. And so it's been worth it just to have those opportunities and love on people and share the good news of the gospel. And two, working with the cars is just fun for me and the Ole Man and NikkiT. We just enjoy getting out and having fun with it. And it's not it makes us a little bit of extra money that we can throw right back into the cars.
Oh yeah,
but we're not getting rich off of it, and don't believe it'll ever happen. But we have had a good time, and the journey's been fun.
I don't think I'm ever gonna get rich because I'm just gonna buy junk cars.
Yeah,
I'm
right there with you.
Yeah, I'm with you. So anyway, but no, I think that's my little old church we go to, Friendship. It's a small church. It really is where we go at, and it got pretty full there at one time. It was getting over 100 people, and that's pretty packed for my little church. It's a little church. It's a beautiful little church. It's a rock church, but. Preacher, he said, we keep going, we're gonna have to expand. And I said, no, man. I said, just preach about 3 weeks of hellfire and damnation. We'll thin her back down.
Yeah, they'll turn and burn.
Yeah, turn and burn. So,
yep, that's exactly right.
That's about all you got to do. But no, I enjoy it, man. I appreciate you coming on. I told Copperhead, he said he want to get you on. I said, I bet you can't do it Sunday night because he'll be preaching.
Yep, Sunday night is difficult. Well, I appreciate y'all changing it. I don't know the attendance and the numbers. Hopefully you have folks that come and watch. But we have Sunday night. Sunday is a busy day for me, and I'm surprised I have much of a voice to do that. Kat, I thank you so very much. Get me up to 50K. Yep. We've been sitting around just over 40,000, but man, I am honored that anybody would watch our content. So we're so blessed that people come along and enjoy some of the crazy stuff we do. We're surprised, but we're pleased.
No, we enjoy it, man. We're just a bunch of rednecks. Even them land down under, they got rednecks too.
Amen.
So yeah.
Well, Copperhead, when you make your way up to the good state of Georgia, we need to all find a way to get together, and I want to see some of your rigs, and we'll compare notes.
Well, you'll have to give me some leads because I'm not bringing anything, so I've got to start from scratch. So I've got a ton of them to go and buy.
Well, look to your right on the screen. He said he's got a yard full and he's ready to sell.
He's got one I want. There's one I'm gonna. If he doesn't go and give it to me, I'm gonna nick it off his front lawn. There's one I want.
I got a 63 Corvette pickup truck.
Oh, okay.
We drug it
I've
out.
never seen one. I'm in love with it.
That's the only thing. Every year, my wife, we drag an old car out the front yard because I live right on Highway 76. I live on the main drag.
Yep.
And she always picks up a big Christmas. We had a 28A model out there last year, and so this year we put the Corvette 63 Corvette pickup with all the Christmas stuff and the lights and all that kind of stuff. So that's where she gets in on the building of the junk car. She likes them then, but other than that, no. She could care less about them.
I don't even know if I've seen a 63 Corvette pickup truck. Are they rare? Let me
they're
look that
pretty
up.
rare. They call them ramp sides. They got the little ramp sides. Once you see one, you'll see it. But
yeah,
I know you've seen the Corvair van, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's just a pickup. That's basically the same thing as a van.
Now, when I think of Corvair, I always think of the little rear engine, rear engine air cooled.
Yep. I've got
it's got mid-mount.
65, I think. I got 65. Now, this is not very good shape. Don't think it's mid, but it's got a good body on it. But I got a 65 Corvair Corsa Spider turbo. It's a turbo.
Okay.
But the turbo's gone. But yeah, my dad, like I said, he's drug everything in the world you can think of. I've got more stuff. I got more cars than, what does it say? Carter's got liver pills.
Well, hey, we prayed for him this week. I think I heard he's under hospice care at home.
Yeah.
So let's remember old Jimmy Carter. I hate to say this, but that same exact place that I saw that 71 Galaxy, I believe, had a couple of these trucks right beside one another, the Corvair pickup trucks. So maybe we do need to compare notes when you make your way over here.
Well, I just like doing all the oddball stuff. That's probably why my channel is like struggles sometimes, because I pick up all these weird things that no one really likes, then it's not stuff that people research or get shared. So like like I just did a little Hillman, and I've done Bedford trucks, and it's all about just doing them like cheap. So like we picked up this old Bedford. I don't even think you have them. They're like a British truck cab. I picked that. That was just a cab. I pulled it out of a paddock and turned it into a little hot rod thing I built. I did it for 5,000, which is like about 3,000 your money. And it was all just done with whatever I had lying around pretty much. And so it's all just everything I do is oddball and doing it for next to nothing, you know, like, and trying to make these real, not like fancy paint, but like more ratty looking, but you know, that run and drive perfect, and you know, stuff over here. So normally like that hot rod I did, that's 50 grand someone would spend to build that thing normally over here. Like,
I'm the same way. I want to learn how to do everything and just keep at it, and just keep practicing. I don't want to have to send it off to get anything done to it. If I can't do it myself, it won't get done.
Exactly.
And
so I even went and bought a sewing machine, and I'd sew up my own interiors and like.
He does good on his interiors now. You'll have to check this out. Now this cat right here has got it figured out. Okay, so he goes and he finds a couch with $50,000 leather couch that somebody's thrown out, and he takes the leather off of it and makes a seat for nothing.
Wow, that's my type
like those
of
Italian leather lounges and stuff that are like 20, 30,000, and you know, like the rich people have them for 5 or 10 years, and then they just offload it for $50 or free on Marketplace, and so we'll go get it, and the leather's like full hide, thick, like
real leather.
Not like a split hide or anything. And then I chop it all up and turn it into a car seat. So I've done a few. I got one of the hot rods is getting full crocodile leather.
Wow,
like real crocodile leather. Like that would have been a $50,000 lounge suite, that thing. And so one of the hot rods I'm doing is getting the seat's done, and all the door trims are sort of made up. And that's all going to be full croc leather, like for free. That was like
that's the way to do it. I love working with leather myself. I make wallets and make different things. So I just always like working with my hands. And if I can make it and can do it, I want to figure out how to do it and get it done. So I've done a little sewing. I have never. I bought an old old pop-up camper, and I was sick with COVID. And I didn't have any content. And I remember I had some old footage of redoing that old camper. And I bought a sewing machine, made all the curtains, and made everything. So that's still, I enjoy that. Mine's probably not strong enough to work through leather yet, but you're giving me an idea, Copperhead. Maybe I'll figure that one out.
So I went and bought like a pretty high-end machine, but you can buy over here. They're called Singers. So I don't know. They're Australian, I think. I don't think you'd have them, but they're just the old antique.
We do have Singers.
Yeah,
they're everywhere.
So those old Singers you get for like $100. If you get the right one, they're the best. They're the best things for leather. Like they're bulletproof.
Wow.
Like the one I've got is a newish, like high end. It will go through anything. And it's like a lot quicker, but quicker is also more dangerous and more mistakes can be made. You know, so
that's right.
So this is the one I've got is one like an upholsterer would have. But if you're just doing something for home, like those Singers they're the best ones to get.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how common a Singer sewing machine is over here. If a car is running really, really good,
that's what they call it.
Yeah, man, that thing runs like a Singer sewing machine.
I thought that was just over here. Maybe they're not Australian then.
No.
Yeah, the old. I've always enjoyed the Falcons, and I've owned a lot of 144s, 170s and 200s. And those Ford inline sixes, that's what we always say. They run like a sewing machine.
Yeah.
So this up and down and run good.
I think that's one of the reasons that I follow the y'all's channels, because I don't like the everyday stuff. I've seen you go to a car show and it's Camaro, Firebird, or 55 shit. I'm tired of them. I like the different stuff, man.
Yeah.
I like the old Pontiacs and all that stuff and the Comets and everything like that. So I really enjoy it. But anyway.
Well, the money is running out to find all of those cars that we would all say we'd like to have. So I have learned, and instead of, desiring some of those cars, go find something else you like. I tell you, there's a car, and I don't have many 80s cars that I would be interested in, but Ford made a horrible Escort. It was EXP. I owned one for like 6 months. It was a little 2-seater Escort. Wasn't fast for nothing. But I have been looking and looking and looking to see if I could find another one. And people are going to laugh at me when I find it. But when I find it, I'm going to get it and bring it back to the road. You just don't see them anymore. They were not good cars, but if I find one, I'm going to make a good one for me.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What would you give for one?
Oh, my Lord. If my wife is around the corner, she probably would put a limit on it. But you don't tell me you have an EXP. You don't have
got
one.
an EXP. Yeah, I sure do.
Oh my goodness. What year?
It's the one I always liked was I think it's 84 that's got the raised headlights. I never liked it. Yeah, I guess it's 84.
Yep, I had one that was an 88 and a half.
You had the round nose on yours.
Yep, that's right. Mm-hmm. It was, almost like a Fox body Mustang is kind of like that one look, but I love them all. So.
Yeah, I've got one. It's a 1.9, I think, 1.9.
That's right. Yep.
4-speed. It's not bad shape. The inside's pretty rough on it where needs it, but they're just, but it cranks.
He's got everything up there. You don't realize. I said, I need a Chevy headlight bucket. You go, oh yeah, I got one of them up there I got one of those 40 Chevs that you're looking for. Yeah. I said, what about? I got one of them up there too.
I'm sorry.
Well, maybe we need to talk about the EXP sometime.
Well, I hope my wife is not listening and your wife is not listening, and I hope they don't know each other's numbers because my wife gonna call your wife up and say you need that EXP.
Yeah, there's no telling what my wife would let loose of if somebody came up with the right amount of dollars.
I'm with you. My wife would just give them to them. Just get them. Take them out of the yard.
Go.
I will tomorrow. I'll take a couple pictures of that little car and see.
Yeah, I'd love to see.
I don't know but they're hard to find. I about never found this one. I just haven't.
Yeah,
he's upselling it already.
Yeah, I don't really like them. I don't know what he's talking about.
They were good looking little cars, but I thought about finding the GT version. They made the Escort GT and just dropping the running gears out of it and bolting it right back up in. That'd give you they went up 2.3, I think.
3, that's right. Yeah, I don't know why they made the sporty car with the smaller engine, but it was, for sale. My lovely bride. She might be talking about me.
That's
she
what
might
you do.
be.
Buy one, get one.
She's the best salesman in the house. I can guarantee it.
No, I'll send you some. I ain't gonna send you no pictures, but I'll send you some pictures of that thing tomorrow.
Amen.
Yeah. Let you look at it.
Well, guys, I do appreciate y'all for having me on. The conversation has been outstanding. And if y'all are ever down my way, stop by. And I hope the invitation expands both ways.
Hey, man, absolutely. I'm in Hiawassee. Everybody up here knows me because I owe everybody in town. So just ask them where Stephen Phillips out. They'll send you this way. But I've enjoyed it. We'll have to do it again here for long and keep up and see what's going on. And like I said, I'll send you some pictures of that little car. I'm not.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. And Copperhead, hope you find what you're looking for. Back over this way.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. Give me a year or two, and I'll be there.
Amen.
All those that's listening, if you want, if you're looking for a good cheap car, just call the preacher, call his wife. You got a buy one get one free deal going on right
now. Disregard that last statement.
All right, we're out of here. I appreciate y'all.
See you guys.
See ya. Thanks.